Thanks for choosing the smartCRUTCH. This is a quick how-to video on changing the handle if it wears out and you'd like to purchase a new handle and swap it out, or if you want to understand how the mechanism works. So with the handle, there is a bolt that goes through the cuff and out the other side, which is where the nut is. This is a decorative cap that doesn't provide anything besides making it look nice. So if we want to say swap the handle out for a new handle, the first thing we do is just pull that cap cover off, exposing the bolt underneath. And you'll see that the bolt also has a C-clip on the end of it. The purpose of that C-clip is not allowing this bolt to completely fall out the other side. It's okay to not have that C-clip on there, but that's the purpose of it. You can always put it back on afterwards or just not use it at all. So the first thing that we need to do is to remove the C-clip so that we can remove this bolt out the other side in its entirety. So you'll need a flat-headed screwdriver or even tweezers, anything flat that you can get under there. Now, please do wear your protective eyewear because when you pry this out, it might go flying and you don't want it to hit you in the eye. Try again. There, it went flying. I think I caught it in the box. That was pretty good. Okay, so now that we have the C-clip out, the bolt is able to come out in its entirety. And you're gonna go lefty-loosey. I don't have great hand strength, so I always tend to have pliers around. And you can always use the pliers to grip the bolt and lefty-loosey it, or just go with your hand, but it takes about 20 turns or so. Kind of keep going until that bolt is no longer in that nut that is sunken down into that joint. So once we remove that bolt, we can set that aside. And you can see that round area there that takes this portion of the bolt, which is like a cuff. That little section there has to seamlessly embed in there. So what we do is we pull the grip out, so that was in there and it pulls out. And something that's helpful to see is how the three different handle positions work. So when this bolt is through that cuff, this portion of the bolt has to sit seamlessly in one of those three cutouts. So if it's in between, the bolt isn't going to go all the way in and your handle's going to be loose. So you always want to make sure that that bolt is pressed into one of those circles. That position, or the last position. That's what holds the grip securely in place, just so that you know how that works. So if you were to get a new grip, a new handle, it's easiest to turn the cuff upside down. And when it's upside down, you can see that where the handle goes in, there are two notches, kind of like mountains and valleys. There's one on the left and one on the right. So if you want this cuff to be a left-handed crutch, you want to line up this mountain. So you can see that little ridge that comes up. That ridge wants to go into the left valley in order to make this a left. So I would line that up into the left valley, not the right valley, the left valley, and push that in. And that is what makes this cuff grip tilted in towards the center, making it a left. With the grip back in, say that you know that your typical handle length is one position longer. So what you want to do is you want to pull the grip out until you see that white mark, which is the first position. Kind of tap it a little bit so that you have a clear view of that round hole, because again, we want that to seamlessly fit in there. Take the bolt, thread it into the nut on this side and righty-tighty. You want to keep going so that that cuff portion goes all the way in. We want this flush, so we keep going. And keep going until it's all the way in. You can see there's no space. And then on this side, you can see that the end of the bolt comes out just a little bit. You can see one or two threads, and that means that this bolt is all the way through and that cuff portion is perfectly sunken into the cuff. And the last step is to take the decorative cap cover to cover the end of the bolt, and you can gently tap it with a hard item or just press with your 2 fingers until you hear a snap.